Okay, so we're already on to our next fight with Joe Hughes, fight 3 of the night. Joe Hughes in the red corner, red boots, white stripes. I'm not one to get upset about it, but they are my boots. They're the winning boots. Joe Hughes, really tall for the weight, and we saw him here not too long ago with an emphatic victory, stopping Russ Midgley in just 42 seconds of the first round. Joe, very technical, snappy, strong, tall, long. In the blue corner, we've got Edward Bjorklund, who's had 24 fights even, and only been stopped once. In fact, no, he's the one doing the stopping. His win was by knockout. He's never been stopped himself. Just saying there, David, last time we saw Joe Hughes here, there was a 42-second victory, and Edward Bjorklund in the blue corner, never been stopped, and won his only fight by knockout himself.
The thing is, as well, is what you'll see from Edward, he's so unorthodox. He really, he's quite awkward. He will hold on as well. And he'll make it as messy as he possibly can to get through the rounds, to be honest, Nathan. He won't have a pretty fight, but he is tough.
Yeah, well, when I've sparred Joe, I've tried that tactic, tried, roughing him up, trying to frustrate him. And it used to work back in the day. It doesn't anymore. He's used to it now. For someone who's only had one pro fight and only 16 unlicensed fights, again, like we were saying about Josh Gooden, it's just made for him. He's relaxed. He's lean. We've seen Edward swing there and miss, look a bit unsteady on his legs.
The thing is, I will say, is you look at Bjorklund's record, and he has only got the one win, but he's been in there with some really good kids. He's been in there twice with Ramiz Mahmoud and gone the distance. And Mahmoud's now...
They are usually undefeated, aren't they, as well, when they're fighting him?
Well, Mahmoud is undefeated. Now he's the mandatory for the Southern Area featherweight title. And he's also been in there with Jack Hillier, who's trained in the McGuigan gym, who's got a couple of stoppages to his name, and he's a very, very good kid himself, Jack Hillier. So Bjorklund can get through the rounds. He hasn't been stopped by any of them.
And they're big hitters, experienced big hitters. You got Kevin Parker, is it, in the referee position tonight, looking very closely at Edward, because he is using those typical away corner tactics, a lot of grabbing, a lot of holding. Looks in good shape. I think Joe's got a bit of age advantage here, and Edward's got the experience, but that was an easy round for Joe, I think. Well, Joe has actually got quite a big crowd here tonight. He sold quite a few ringside tables, a lot of tickets. We're going to probably hear some noise coming soon. Edward throwing the body shots there. He's found his way through a couple of times, but Joe looking unscathed so far, unbothered by it. Using that long jab, nice right hand there. With Joe, his shots don't look much sometimes, but they're so accurate at times, and they really do start to sting. He's constant with it.
You can see he's picking his shots as well. He's looking for that body every time. Look at him, he's trying to soften him up there. Nothing's rushed either, it's all quite clinical. Again, another great prospect, isn't he, really, considering it's only his second pro fight, and he just looks calm, relaxed.
No amateur background, he's come from the unlicensed scene, building a bit of a reputation, fell in love with the sport. Oh my, a lovely right hand thrown to the temple of Edward there, and then a lovely body shot to follow it up. Oh, he's looking a bit unsteady, Edward. He's been hurt a couple of times here. But is this a ploy? Is this a tactic? Is he trying to sucker him in?
To be fair, Bjorklund does have that kind of overly relaxed look about him. He seems to get caught with shots and you think he's about to go over, but he never seems to.
Slightly like the drunken Kung Fu master. We'll see as the fights go on. You know, Joe's landed some lovely shots. You can't really see any marking on Edward yet, but not for lack of trying. A big miss, a lovely body shot inside there. These counters are so well timed, and it's the shots you don't see coming that hurt. They haven't got to be powerful, the timing alone. And if you notice as well, David, Edward spent most of his time on the ropes. Joe using his front foot, walking him down, switching look from southpaw to orthodox. Having fun, look.
That's it, a little bit of playful behaviour between the two of them there. And he switches nicely though as well, doesn't he, Joe? He switched there from southpaw to orthodox as smooth as you like. He looks comfortable. I can't believe that he hasn't got the amateur background, like you say. He looks too comfortable not to have an amateur background.
Well, I first met Joe a few years ago, and he was doing a charity fight. He wore white collar because one of his relatives had got cancer and passed away, unfortunately. I think Joe, he trained as an amateur when he was a lot younger, but I don't think he had any fights. He went into the unlicensed scene after that. He got bitten by the bug, and I took him under my wing to start with. I saw something in him. I liked him, and we started sparring together. Our first or second spar together. Obviously, I was a lot more experienced, and you know, he took everything I had to give at him, really, and that was years ago. Since then, if you can see in the corner, we've got Barrington Brown, former professional. He's also the trainer of Echo Esserman, English champion. Derek Asazi, the ultimate boxing champion of the week. They call him the mad boxing scientist. I train under him as well, and I can tell you for free, it's disgraceful, it's disgusting, hard work, and Joe just loves it.
Obviously we've got Echo on later. We've also got a punching preacher in the house tonight. So we got some fantastic people here on show.
I don't know if you've seen, but we've got Joey Kalik as well at ringside. He won a world title here years ago, defended it, I think it was 4 times. He's on the back corner here watching. It's nice to see that. I know he's got an amateur boxing gym in Nottingham, but showing that support for the local community. Again, Joe looking well timed there, popping the jab out. And again, using that Philly shell kind of style. It's so tall for the weight, Joe. And Edward spent most of his time on the ropes and in the corners. Odd bit of success. Joe keeping it quite clean. Edward tried to rustle it up like you said there. Edward leaning in with his head. You can see there, using every trick in the book to frustrate Joe, but it's not working so far. A lovely uppercut landed there. That uppercut's the sort of shot that we saw Russ Midley stopped with. Edward's still throwing. Oh, a nice body shot there, left hook to the body. They start to play a part in that last round. Joe sticking his tongue out to the crowd, having fun, cheeky. There's a few laughs in the background there. A lovely switch style again, look. Southpaw, got him on the ropes, banging away. Oh, looking for that body now. Oh, lovely right to the body. We heard the slap there. But Edward, not giving away any signs of pain, not hurt. Joe puts his hands down. Comfortable, confident. Nice, left hand landed there on the temple. We heard that one again. I think Edward acknowledged that one. Slight nod of the head. Lands it again, right hand to the temple. Joe's well and truly found his range now, hasn't he? Throwing at will. No, lovely body shot again. Think he could sneak in a couple of uppercuts here, that'd be nice. What do you make of this fight so far, David?
Well, obviously Joe's very comfortable in there. You can tell he's got his natural power is something else. He's able to punch through Edwards' guard every time.
He's only young, he's not got his man strength yet, but, real potential. He's strong and clinical, isn't he?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh, a lovely right hand on the end there.
Yeah, lovely right hand. Like you say, he's fairly frightening. He's only a boy, really, and he sits down on his shot so well. Again, I find it unbelievable his lack of amateur experience, because he just looks so comfortable in there. He's picking his shots well. You can tell he's around some very top, in a top gym with some top quality boxers.
Well, I don't know if you saw in the corner there, Joe, the first thing he did was sit down and a big smile. Barrington smiled back, but now it's back to business. With Barrington Brown, there's no messing. He'll acknowledge when you're doing well, but there's always something. He's always got his eye, he's got a game plan. And Edward looking very tired. And that lovely shot there on the end, really good, lovely shot. I think the bell was just in time there for Edward.
This is the final round. Obviously Joe hasn't looked in trouble at all during this. You expect him to move through, but I think he's, he could quite easily just go on a back foot now, and he's won the fight as long as he doesn't do anything too silly. But I think he's going to try and stop him. Look at him, look, he's looking for them big shots. I think he knows that look at that. He's tried to hold him from a mile away there. He's literally dived in to hold him. He knows it's about survival now.
And again, Edward, you've got to give it to him. He's took the centre, he's landed a nice right hand there, and he's come back revitalised from that round, and he's a bit busier. Oh, look, an inside hook again there from Joe. One of Joe's inspirations is Billy Joe Saunders. I think we'll see a few little nods to him throughout the game there. Whoa! We saw the sweat fly off of Edward's head there. Oh, Edward looking a little bit worse for wear now. His head. Oh, we're going to see it! Oh, we're going to see it! Come on, stay on him! I tell you what, Edward's doing everything to survive there. Joe landed some beautiful shots. He might just be able to hang on, Edward. He doesn't want to get stopped. He's smothering now, look. I thought we were going to see a knee taken there. That'd have been lovely. For Joe, of course.
Yeah, I think, for Edward, it's about getting through this now, isn't it? He is a journeyman. We understand the concept of that. He makes his living out of...
Nice uppercut landed through the middle there. I'd just like to see Joe take half a step back and get back on his range, look. He's smothering his own work. Well, Edward's smothering it for him, but I'd like to see Joe stepping back, moving round to the centre. But again, only one pro fight so far, which lasted 42 seconds. Oh, again with a straight on the end there.
Well, he's shown that he can do the rounds comfortable enough, and that's the thing. Only coming from an unlicensed background, he really would have only done 2-minute rounds. And it's all about levels, and we know that the good amateur boxers who come through do show different levels. And again, this is why I find it unbelievable. This boy's never done anything but a few unlicensed fights.
As I said earlier, he started training at Rebels Gym in Nottingham, a white collar gym. I did a bit with him, but there's only so much you can do, and he started training at DCT with me, and now I find it hard work sparring with him, and it's an amazing thing to see, like the leaps and bounds. He's got a nice sponsorship, nice shorts, and what a performance there from Joe Hughes. Edward there holding on, giving some nice feedback there. Again, 40-36 win from the red corner. Real pride there from the corner. Mark Howe goes across the ring to shake hands with the other corner. You don't get that in many sports. Such respect. A real strong team there, DCT in the corner, and Scott Kalo, the manager, the promoter of the show again, looking on at Joe with pride. And I think everyone knows Joe's a prospect. Okay, I'm joined here with Joe Hughes. Sweat is dripping from him. Take your gum shield out, come on. How do you feel, Joe?
Feel great. It's good to get the 4 rounds in, go get some experienced rounds in. Hands are hurting a little bit, but it was because I had a tough fight and a tough opponent.
Amazing work rate there, some really clinical shots. You was disappointed with the first fight, ending so early.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling now,
I'm buzzing. Everyone was saying, oh, is it going to go to like 2 minutes? And I was saying, no, it's going to be 4 rounds. He's a tough guy. He's never been stopped. So I beat him up in there. So I've done myself proud and I'm happy with the performance.
A great win. Well done. See you later.